Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We're on episode 2 of Modao Zushi Season 2. And man, last week kicked off the season pretty intensely. We got flashbacks. This character Yao that has been introduced is very curious to me. I get so many suspicious vibes from him. The fact that he's an actor, that he was disguising himself as members of not only the Ni clan, but the Wen clan as well before he assassinated Ruhan is interesting. But also the fact that he's got this whole setup in arranging this conference, or he's playing a big part in it, and Chechen is seemingly trusting of him, like very trusting of him, to the point where I'm like, I don't want anything bad to happen to Chechen. I'm like, no, you're Wangji's brother. I don't want that. No. So, but I've definitely got him on my radar because he's just throwing off some shady vibes right off the bat, and it's the Jin clan. Their whole clan is shady. Like Mo, the body that Wuxian's inhabited, like his dad was the womanizer, and Ling's dad. And I'm glad that Ling is at least seemingly with Chang, so maybe he's away from all of that. But I'm like, I don't know. Just get bad vibes, and we haven't gotten the new leader of the Ni clan. We haven't seen him yet. Him and his bird. We haven't gotten them yet in this new season, but I'm just waiting for that. But speaking of Lanzan, speaking of Wangji, so many questions. I know some of you on Patreon were talking about, and I'm sure by now as I'm recording this, episode 1's about to air on YouTube, but as I'm recording this, you all will probably tell me in the comments, please no spoilers, but I'm sure a lot of you are going to tell me that we don't know about Wangji's scars, because some people on Patreon were like, we don't know, and I'm like, and some people are like, well, the novel might explain more, but we're going to wait on season 3, and I'm like, because he does have some new scars. Those aren't the ones in the episode. I thought maybe they were the ones that he got back, way back when with Wuxian in the disciplinary, but people on Patreon were like, no, those were bamboo flagging. This is like a whip. So it's like, I'm curious. It seems very, very interesting, the parallel that Wangji has not only the whip marks, like how Wuxian got those from Madame Yu, but he's also got the brand that's the Wen Clan brand on his chest, just like Wuxian as well. So I'm like, did Chang whip him and give him those scars? I don't know. My plan is to read the novel to start reading the novel after I finish season 2, because I don't want to get spoiled if something's out of place and spoils me about season 2 before I get to it. So I'm going to wait till I'm done with season 2 before I start reading the novel. And I wrote it down on here. Anita Norris actually proposed that I do kind of like a book club video type thing where I read to a certain part and then go back and talk about it. So I might do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Do some, like, while we're waiting on season 3, do some like kind of refresher, like as I read the novel, kind of talk about it. I might split the novel readings into like 4 parts and talk about them as it goes, like part of season 1, and then kind of compare to the anime or to the donghua and do that way. That seems like what I might do in terms of the novel, but I'm really, really excited because the fact that there's still mysteries that haven't been solved by the end of season 2 leading up to season 3 has me excited. And I've been told, y'all have warned me that season 2 has a lot of stuff going on, and we got a lot in the last episode. I feel like a lot of it was a little bit exposition heavy, but I get that they've cut it down from 15 to 8 episodes, so some things they couldn't show us. Like the part on the mountain with the woman, like that, the way she like moaned and hummed and sung was very creepy, very spooky. And I like this show when it has like the horror elements, so that has me really excited. But yeah, and then at the end we have Ning showing up in the mountain, so something's going on. Something's up with that hand in the mountain. Something sus, and I need more information. But we didn't get a lot of flashback last episode, which leads me to believe that the next couple episodes we're going to get more of that interspersed, because we still have so much that hasn't been covered from the flashbacks. We haven't gotten Yanli's death. We haven't gotten Wuxian's death. We haven't seen a whole lot of the time between facing Ruhan to when Wuxian died. I feel like there's bits and pieces that we still have to get from that part. So there's that. So I'm very, very curious. But yeah, episode 2, y'all. Whew, buddy. So we'll be like a fourth of the way done after this with season 2. I don't like that at all. But in any case, I am excited to dive in and see what all happens this episode. These episodes are a little bit longer too. They're like 25 minutes instead of 23. So I'm like, well, at least we get a couple extra minutes. I don't know. But I'm excited to watch the second episode. I hope y'all are too. I can't wait to talk to y'all about it afterwards. But in any case, I've rambled for 5 minutes. Let's dive into this sucker. So we are going to start episode 2 of Modazushi season 2 here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay, look. This season is going to be torture because there's only 8 episodes and there's already so much. I am just I'm so happy already with this season because we've established these characters. We've established who they are in the present. We're getting back on that. And so now it's down to the plot and what's happening. And there is so much suspicious stuff happening in this episode that I want to go back and just delve with you all what's happening. So, okay, so our dynamic detective duo here, we're Scooby-Dooing this and going on the mountain. And I like the idea that these people didn't die. They were just filled with all this resentful energy. But because they started hallucinating because they couldn't handle it. Here's the thing. Wuxian says, and I don't know why I didn't pick this up in season 1. Wuxian says that the reason why Ling isn't affected by the resentful energy is because he has the Clarity Bell. He has the Zhang Clan Clarity Bell, and that keeps him safe. And in season 1, all up until episode 13, Wuxian had that Clarity Bell. So here's the thing. We're gonna big brain this. When the bell was ripped off of him in episode 13, and then later he was thrown into burial mounds. So all that resentful energy was able to go into Wuxian, and he didn't have the bell to protect him. So it's possible that Wuxian could have gave his core to Chang in the flashback, in the past, but was still protected from the resentful energy in the core melting hand because he had the Clarity Bell. But once the bell was gone, the resentful energy could attack him, and Wuxian was strong enough to take hold and somewhat control it, to our knowledge, but it definitely did affect his temperament and affected him like in a negative way. So that makes so much more sense. I was like, oh, that's like putting 2 and 2 together. He didn't have the bell, so that could have been why the resentful energy affected him. Another theory is that I think the woman in red is Ning's sister. We can't confirm that, but red is the wind colors, so I'm thinking that's her. I don't know. Don't spoil me, but I'm going to keep that theory out here. Okay, but here's the mystery deepens, y'all. It's getting real interesting because this Yao guy, I don't trust him at all after this episode. I'm like, hell to the no. Absolutely not. I think that he is the one behind all this jazz. You know why I think this? I'll tell you why I think this. Because one, this whole thing tying back to the Jin clan with the uncle, with Ling's uncle, is I don't believe Wuxian killed him. And I am so on board with the fact that Wangji was trying to figure all that out. Wangji was trying to find the corpse of the uncle, the Jin clan leader, because they established that this ulcerating curse leaves the body filled with ulcers except for the head. And the head is what this resentful energy is what has been attacking these people. So Wangji's theory was that curse, whoever casts the curse once they die, the curse disappears, so the ulcers would disappear. So if he found the corpse of the man and the ulcers disappeared, it would confirm that Wuxian was innocent and he didn't kill him, it was someone else. And lo and behold, the corpse goes missing and nobody can find it. My full-on theory is this Yao guy has set this whole thing up. Somehow, for some reason, something happened after Ruhan's death, and Yao didn't like Wuxian, or thought Wuxian was not going to be good news, and was like, well, we need to just get rid of him. So I am fully convinced that Yao, and I could be, whenever I theorize about anime, I'm 9 out of 10 times wrong, so I'm probably wrong on all accounts, but I think the Yao guy is part of a big setup that the Yao man, because he just conveniently happens to be the Jin clan leader now, conveniently, that he took the corpse away and he's hid it so that nobody can find out that Wuxian was innocent. And we have, again, the idea of the unreliable narrator. The rumors spread that Wuxian, that it was his fault that the Jin uncle died, and he's the one that cast the curse. Even though Wuxian's kind of like, no, that wasn't me. I'm just learning about it at the same time you all are, but you don't know that because you don't know it's really me. And I love the idea that in the flashback that we got, Wangji using his spiritual Ouija board, I freaking love it. I love it. It's our way of connecting. It's kind of like the, I think of in Harry Potter, the memory where you steal the memories out and you get a basin of water and it shows you the memories. That's what I think of him when I see this Ouija board. His instrumental spiritual summoning, the inquiry, if you will. Oh my gosh. So I love that when he summoned the vision of the uncle's like, Wei Wuxian, and points directly at Wuxian and Mo's body, and then he like slowly turns around and there just happens to be the visual of him. But what a symbolic gesture, right? But I absolutely love the idea of the unreliable narrator coming back here, because we have two instances of this. We have one, them talking about the uncle being killed by Wuxian, which we clearly know is probably not the case at this point, because Wuxian himself is like, I didn't do it. But two, this Tao leader, he brings up the idea that Wuxian ended up murdering Yanli, or causing her death, and he bit the hand that fed him. He attacked the only person that defended him. So it showed us the flashback of Yanli defending Wuxian and saying, if anybody says anything bad about him, you'll have to answer to me. And I like this idea that Wuxian is trapped inside Mo Jianyu's body, and Jianyu is a Jin clan member, which is so interesting. And he's like, oh, you're copying the demonic arts. How dare you insult the Jin family name? Because don't you know how insulting Wuxian was to the Jin family? Because he murdered the uncle and he killed Yanli, and there's all of this. And so it's like, I love this idea that Wuxian is trapped in Shanyu's body because it's a Jin clan member. And everybody, he's like, why are you selling the Jin family? The Jin should naturally hate Wuxian because of all the things he did to him. But it's like, did he do those things? I mean, we haven't got the Yanli flashback to know how she died, but the more this season has gone on so far, and I know we're only 2 episodes in, but I'm like, did Wuxian actually kill her, or was he just indirectly responsible for her death, but he kind of blames himself, sort of thing? And of course, the worst part is he can't tell anybody. He can't tell Ling, no, this isn't how it went down. Don't listen to him. He can't tell him that, because then he'd reveal himself as Wuxian, and that would cause a whole big stir. But Wangji clearly knows it's him. Clearly. I mean, one, we had the song that was played was the Wangxian, the theme they played from episode 2. That was a big tip-off. Second, in this episode, when Wuxian's like, oh yeah, like, that snake, it mutated way back when, and Wangji's like, really? How'd you know that it mutated? And Wuxian's like, oh, I heard a story about it. I wasn't actually there. Wangji so knows that Wuxian is in Jianyu's body, and is just like biding his time until Wuxian comes out and says it to him. But guys, the idea that Wangji has been trying to prove Wuxian's innocence by finding the corpse and everything is like, and the look that he gives Wuxian, he's like, I needed to find the corpse to verify that it wasn't you that killed him. And it's like, he's been trying to prove Wuxian's innocence this whole time. Like, it's just, the pining. But, okay. I'm watching this episode again. I've reached the point where this ninja man that sacrificed himself at the end, that just committed suicide to get away, is with this mysterious figure beneath the shrouds. And we see just a little hair of him. And from the hair of it, it kind of looks like, it looks purple, so it looks like a Zhang clan, like someone with Chang. But I think that's a misdirect. I totally think this is Yao. Yeah. I totally think it's him. I could be wrong. I have been proven quite wrong before in this, but it makes sense because we've established Yao as an actor. He dresses as other clan members. He uses it to fool people and manipulate people. He did it when he assassinated Ruan. So who's to say that he's not impersonating Chang or someone else from the Zhang clan to get them to go along with whatever he wants them to do. Totally sus. Sus this man Yao. Sus. I am totally suspicious of him. And the idea that they laid this trap. Because they established that this trap was made to gather up all this resentful energy. And it makes sense, like Wuxian said, that it's not infallible. At some point, you're going to get so much resentful energy that it's going to just come out. And then what happens? So, and then they established that the head and the arm might be related, might not be. The arm doesn't have any ulcers on it, so I don't know if that's with the Jin clan uncle too, if the arm and him... I thought at first that it was like a whole body, that they took apart this body and just filled it with resentful energy and these curses, and it just went feral and started attacking people. Like the head started attacking people, the arm started attacking people. I thought it's just parts and pieces of the same body. But it might not be. It might be parts and pieces of bodies that people have led to believe that Wuxian killed. So everybody believes that Wuxian killed the Jin uncle, and that's his head floating around, which we've established in this episode is not the case. But, so that means, like, whose arm is it? Because the arm is clearly more powerful than the head, so we think it's something different. But, the idea that this trap has been made, that despite the watchtowers supposedly doing their job and exercising spirits, there's still these zombie traps around gathering resentful energy. It's almost like the towers are a front for all this bad stuff going down. Like the towers are just there to look like they're doing their job, but in reality, there's these zombie traps being laid around them that are gathering resentful energy and causing more harm than good. So, very, very, very ominous and weird and suspicious and so cool. The mystery and intrigue behind all of this. I'm like wired, you guys, from like this episode because there's so much theorizing and so much to talk about. But yeah, Wangji establishing, using the spiritual inquiry, and I love him and Wuxian like being detectives and figuring out what caused what. And the flashback when the snake attacks and Wangji had the moment where he realized this is exactly like the cave. I was thinking that too, and then when we got that little moment where Wangji realizes it, it's like, again, Wangji knows this is Wuxian. And I love that he defends Wuxian. He's like, I believe that his acts were righteous and noble in nature, despite what they were doing. Like, they were honorable. They were honorable acts, despite what they were. And I like that after all this time, Wangji's like, they worked together to stop the snake. It's like, we don't have to just say demonic arts or something entirely punishable. We can work together to get this mission accomplished. And I feel like the Wangji in the past that we saw at the end of season 1, when we first got the spirit tags, he was like, no, this is bad. This resentful energy is bad. This demonic arts are bad. We need to just stop it. But now, 13 years later, he's like, I want Wuxian around me. So rather than just denouncing him and trying to destroy the demonic arts that he's associated with, we can work together to solve the problems rather than me driving you away. And it's like, Ling, bless his heart. I feel so bad for Ling because Wuxian is like realizing that he's his uncle and he's like, oh, this is my nephew. I need to help him, but I can't because he still thinks I'm his, cousin, Shan Yu. But he clearly has a connection and wants to help Ling. And I feel bad because Ling's only parental figure in his life has been Chang since his parents are dead. And it's like, Chang, from what we've seen from episode 2, Chang is not the best person in the best place right now. And that's probably not the best role model for Ling. I don't know. I'm glad that Ling is with Wangji and Wuxian here so that he gets various perspectives. It's maybe broadening his horizons a little bit. But, oh my gosh, it's setting up that Yanli's death is going to be super sad. And I'm really going to feel bad about it. I know it's going to hit hard because it was just teased here. And it was like, it still hurt. And Wuxian can't say anything. He can't vocalize his anger or his frustration when people are lying to his face about his acts. And he can't do anything about it, so that's frustrating as well. But something's happening, and I love the mystery that's going on here. That something is going on, and we get the flashback with Yanli, and she is defending Wuxian against all the Jin clan. And poor Ling, he's very upset about that, and that's when we find the trap. So, oh man, you guys, this whole thing, just the little tiny looks that Wuxian gives Wangji, and he doesn't think Wangji knows that it's him, but it's like, oh dude, you don't even know. You don't even know! And so apparently the uncle, going back to this, the uncle of the Jin clan is the one that killed Ning. How fascinating that the uncle killed Ning and Wuxian was mad about it. Of course, because Ning was best boy. And Ning saved... So I'm guessing Ning ended up joining sides with Wuxian, becoming his general. Which of course he did, because they're besties. And, oh, the ulcers and everything. So in the spiritual inquiry, it is shown... Yeah, it's shown that Wuxian's the one that cursed him, and then Ning attacked him afterwards. But the question is that entirely true? Or did someone else curse him and these memories are just tampered with? These are tampered with memories. I like the spirit bag, like the Ghostbuster spirit bag that Wangji puts the resentful energy in. He's like, got it, stored it. And it's 13 years ago I tried to find his corpse, but the coffin was empty. And Wuxian's like, why would you do that? And then Wangji's like, I wanted to verify. And the way that Wangji and Wuxian look at each other in these moments, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, I highly doubt, I don't think that Wuxian's the one that cursed him in the end. I think it's someone else, and someone tried to hide the body so that nobody could verify that once Wuxian died, that the curse was lifted. And to keep this narrative going, the unreliable narrator, to keep these rumors going about how bad Wuxian was. And so I'm wondering now if maybe Shan Yu learned about just how false all these rumors were, and maybe that led him to summon him back. I don't know. There's something up with Shan Yu. There's something up with him and the bad state that he was in to like sacrifice his body to bring Wuxian back. And there's something with the Jin clan. I said in episode 1, or the end of season 5, or end of episode 15, that the Jin clan had lots of issues. And Wu on Patreon was like, issues, you say? I'm starting to see that the Jin clan has a lot of stuff going on. And I'm very intrigued. And I'm curious how Nee fits into all this with the bird. Like, I'm just so curious, you guys. It's just... the mystery is deepening, and I'm getting sucked in, and I'm kind of all here for it. I'm not gonna lie. Just I'm so ready, you guys. This is so exciting, and I can just stare at the looks that Wangji gives Wuxian all day. It's just the pining is like off the charts, and I just, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so excited. I'm so ready for episode 3. I'm so ready. Oh man, guys, this episode was great, and I have a feeling I'm going to need to go back and watch it again and again to get more ideas about all of this. But oh, guys, so curious, so curious. Please don't spoil me down below, but feel free to comment as long as it's not spoilers. Comment on this episode what you guys think or what you thought at the time if you already know what happens. But yeah, I'm so ready for episode 3. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll be back next week with episode 3 of season 2 of Modazushi. Bye.